So, as the early afternoon kind of settles, or actually it would be late afternoon, since you went for a walk and stuff earlier in the day, the remnants of battle are evident throughout the house, from the broken windows to the pried open wall in one of the bedrooms where the bugbears made their entrance. The bodies still lingering across the various rooms and hallways. Is there anything anyone would like to do?
I want to
While
call a family meeting.
I was going to say, while Anthus was closing all of the eyes of the goblins in the room, just say, what do you think they wanted? They were wrecking up the place, something nasty.
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to claim it as their own.
What was that about? Someone mentioned forest folk. Might these be the forest folk? I don't know how far the forest is from here.
Finn, make an insight check, quick, just from taking in the scene and everything.
I don't think that's be something that he would try and figure out for himself. 17.
I mean, just taking a quick glance around, you can see that they had some form of kind of leather bags with them. It looks more like a scavenging party or a raiding band looking for supplies or food or similarities. That is at least the conclusion
How
you could draw.
close? How deep into the city is this house? Is it like on the outskirts, or is it like there's loads of buildings around, or?
It would be on the northwest outskirts of the inner walls, leading
So
up
It's actually
towards
in.
the. Yeah.
So while everyone's doing whatever they're doing, can I sneak off and remove the head of one of the bugbears, please?
Yeah. Sure.
And then I'm going to bring it into the main living area where everyone is, just held by its hair. And
All
just
right.
plop it on the bar and be like, I guess we've...
It is a pretty big fucking head.
and I'll just sort of drop it on the bar of thud and be like, I guess we've found the cause of the problem. And we've eradicated it.
But they
So
weren't
it's
the
gonna-
problem.
Well, if the tale be true, the fella died with what looked like scratch marks. I'm pretty sure we can blame it on this big fella. And just sort of pat the head.
Kanske just sort of strokes the part of himself that was devastatingly cut by the thing and say, yeah, it knows how to cut.
So anyone that is currently witnessing that, you can go ahead and make just a quick history check.
No go. Based on the backstory that no one would know, apart from you and me, can I make a wisdom saving throw to feel if I see if I'm repulsed or horrified, perhaps?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, no, I will be fine.
So everyone that rolled above 12 history, actually it would have been a 10, I guess. It's pretty recent. So the man that was found and had died in this had small puncture wounds the size of maybe a thin rapier, something that you all would have recognized as the tail stinger of Spyro, as well as a smashed-in head.
So bugbears are quite big, quite strong. We've got sharp claws. I reckon we could blame it on the bugbear.
I mean, from what I can see, you could take one of the smaller ones.
You want
as
me
well.
to bring? You want me to bring two heads? She'll just. She'll won't even wait for an answer. She'll move towards the other body to start hacking off a goblin's head.
No. I mean, you could just say there were goblins too.
This is.
I mean, as uncomfortable as some of you may seem, it's a simple matter of proving our worth. And she will actually just take off a goblin's head as well.
Okay. And as Vago disappears into the kitchen to make, well, actually, There's a goblin corpse right here. You can take.
Yeah, I'll do it here, right behind the bar, in front of everyone.
All right.
Right next to Anthus.
The company of the
Actively
inhabitants.
moving away. Sorry, carry on.
The trio of inhabitants of the house makes their entrance into the mess hall. Greg, Spyro, and Lulu kind of is looking silently at the scene.
Can I sort of call over to them?
Yeah.
And like call them closer, and then
Okay.
just sort of at this point, I'll place the second head on the bar next to this one and say, "I think we've got your excuse. Do you reckon you lot would mind trying to secure the windows whilst we go and speak to Mr. Wartorn?"
What? Please
Um,
hear from Lulu.
the windows got broken.
Okay.
Could you try and board them up a little with some of this debris? And she'll like point to all the broken tables on the floor and
Sure. And she kind of directs the orders towards Greg, who starts gathering the various planks and bits and pieces of broken tables and chairs. Makes for the room where the bugbears first made their entrance. Disappear.
so I don't know about you lot, and she'll just rest her arm on top of the head of the bugbear on the bar. I think we need to come up with a conclusion. What do we think? And she'll look at Belle. What about you? You seem to be knowledgeable.
Let's just get this over with. I feel as if we've been here for 3 weeks.
I mean, sorry.
Look, the guy died. We've cleared out the house. These things, if they were required as proof, then we can give them as proof. I'm sure Mr. Wartorn will love having some more heads for his mantelpiece.
I meant. What did you want? What are your thoughts on what we should do with the house and our money?
I mean, the house is worth a lot. Honestly, if I understand, Finn, Kashi, you may not be interested in putting down roots, but this, we could make a lot of money. And even if you're not interested in money, you know, I would love to do something with this house for people that maybe aren't actually, doing quite so well here. You know, and even, at this point, if you don't want it, leave the house with me, and eventually I'll pay you your half. I'll pay you the money back if you don't want it that much. I mean,
Finn
Finn
or
looks over.
something that you find useful. You'll always be welcome, even if you don't want it to be. You don't want to own it. There's so
In the
much
village
potential
I'm
for so much
from-
good here.
In the village I'm from, everyone looked after each other. I've noticed that since I've been out in the world, people don't do that, and it's disheartening. So if you're wanting to do something that will help people, then I'll help you with that.
Kashi just sort of
And
leans on the wall, sort of arms crossed, closes his eyes, thinks for a moment.
I'm not looking to stay in the city if my teacher's not here.
I'm not looking to stay either, but if you'll keep a bedroom open in case I have my way around, I don't have to stay at an inn, then sure.
so Belle just sort of kind of looks at you with a little bit of side eye, having seen you gouge out that that bugbear's eyes, little bit distrustful, but kind of needs your buy-in, because this is a group decision. I'm like, well, Finn, you're right. there are so many people and sort of references Lulu and Grick and that aren't, welcome here. I mean, it may need to be a little bit undercover. I can't see being in the middle of this district an open poorhouse. But there's many bedrooms. There's a place for us to stay, and things that we can do.
Vego sort of hold the two heads by the hair and look up at look towards Shire and like sort of glance at Kraft and then round at Amphis and sort of bring the two heads together and be like, so are you guys gonna sort of join us, or are we gonna go our separate ways? And as she separates the head, she's sort of not paying attention to the goblin head. It sort of rolls off the end of the bar.
All right. Not morbid at all.
Anthus says nothing. In fact, he just freezes and just doesn't even seem to breathe. He's just standing there watching the heads.
Does anybody actually notice that?
I was about to say something here.
Well, I mean, I was looking at him. Do I notice it being weird that he's not responding and he's just sort of frozen?
Yeah, it would be unlike anything you've ever seen him do before.
So I can look at him and be like, are you okay there? These make you uncomfortable? And she'll sort of, and then she'll be like, I can put it away, and sort of slide it into my pack, I suppose, if it'll fit.
It won't fit. It's a bugbear head. It's it's the size of a very large melon.
All right, I'll take a cloak out of my bag and wrap it around the head. I'll be like, you don't have to look at it if you don't like. And then I'll sort of scramble around the bar looking for the goblin head that had fallen off.
I'm gonna sort of, with my piece sort of said, and still not entirely being, the confident person they appeared before, I'm kind of just gonna walk over to Anthus and just sort of extend my hand and kind of go, I could use your help with getting rid of the
I've done it before, and Anthus just sort of snaps out of it, and then just starts carrying bodies outside of the building. He doesn't get involved in the conversation, just starts moving bodies.
Chucking them out windows by the look of it.
No, with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
He cradle carries most, and there's almost
leaving kind of the. Yeah.
one.
I was gonna say I'll leave you with the bugbears because I ain't gonna be able to leave the bugbears, and now I start kind of shifting the smaller goblins, and
There's almost
with
a
the
solemn
same-
sadness about
yeah,
it.
with the same.
So the entire house is locked in within stone walls, but on in the kind of far end of the wall, the estate grounds, I guess you would say, through the kind of gathering of trees beginning to branch out into the forest that leads up all the way towards Mount Monolith. There is a gate that has been broken down in the far, from behind. So that would be the exit of the city into the woods or into the forests. And if you want to carry the bodies there, if you take some time looking around, could probably dump them there if you want, or you can just keep them as fertilizer.
I'm burying them. I'm burying them.
Yeah, bury them in the garden.
There's
Compost.
no dumping, no looting. I'm just burying them.
All right.
And making gravestones with whatever sticks I have, whatever I can find. I'm making gravestones.
Okay.
I think this would be I think this would be a bit of a bonding moment for Anthus and Belle. Having seen his reaction.
Krath also
and-
helps you guys doing
Yeah, kind of
as well as Finn.
I think
Go on, gamer. Go on.
No, I was going to say I think having noticed that and being in the world that we're in, a lot of that would kind of be really apparent that that's kind of not normal. Not, but yeah. I
Yeah,
think
but you
as
learn
we spend time
standards.
doing what we're doing. Sorry?
But you learn standards. It wouldn't necessarily be
Yeah.
common to respect
Yeah.
your opponents or monstrous
Carry quite
humanoids
as
like this.
delicately, because it's just an empty shell, so it's like over one shoulder.
And once they're all buried, I will give a prayer for their passing, and I wish them whatever journey they go on next to be less chaotic and horrible.
Violent.
Yeah.
Alright.
Um,
So you bury them in the woods behind the house, or
yeah.
on the estate grounds, like the lawn itself?
On the grounds, not too
On the
far.
grounds.
Yeah,
Alright.
not too far away.
As
So
as this
basically
is
in
all
the forest
being-
behind the pond or something like that.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. Gamer, you were saying something?
as this is all being kind of done, and kind of wanting to pull Anthus over to one side, your friend, the I was going to say the cat-like one, the dark one,
Yes.
do you know him well?
No.
Do you know any of them well?
No.
Talkative one, I see. The he attacked these things with such ferocity as to gouge out the eyes of the opponent. I've never seen anyone have their eyes removed from their head and then to walk. I've seen people that have had it done. I haven't seen it, the physical action of, and then just walk off and start having a conversation as if nothing happened. Is he?
They'll have like a patch
Okay.
over one eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to know. It's too much for us. Yeah.
Okay.
that's his thought process. I don't kill.
Good.
I never will.
Good. As we just continue walking in silence, I think. I think that's where the conversation ends.
And then you'll actually go, my name's Anthus, by the way.
Yeah. And sort of. So not Steve.
No. I didn't want to make the schism between the two Leonin happen.
I'm well, Balin,
No.
but everyone calls me Bell.
Okay.
So, while having this conversation, mostly in silence, as Finn and Krath doesn't seem to interject, or they just kind of help carrying the bodies, dig their graves, place the makeshift tombstones out of wood, and kind of engrave Goblin number 1 into one of them, and sticking it into the ground and doing doing it the rest. You all reconvene back into the mess hall, and Grick and Lulu and Spyro comes back. Spyro on one shoulder, Lulu on the other, on Grick, kind of walking. It's done. We did our best on one side. So, yeah.
So are we
What's the?
So are we deciding that we are just going to blame it on the bugbears and then go from there?
Could do that.
I think that's the best idea. We need to work out if everyone's in or out on this house and get going.
I'm.
Oh, we're in.
And she'll just like look at them with just a passive sort of smile on her face.
Shia, go on.
No, go for it.
Alright. Grick kind of solemnly walks over towards Anthus and reaches up, standing not too tall, very childlike in his appearance, reaching his hand up and kind of just yanks on his sleeve. Ruins. Nods a little bit and then nightmare. And then lets go of your sleeve and
What did he say?
zip back.
Ruins and nightmare.
Is that the first time he has talked, or is that just me?
He looks really shy all of a sudden, realizing that in fact all of you were present in the room. He seemed determined to share this with Anthus. No, he doesn't speak a lot, really, but he did.
Anthus looks at him, sort of kneeling as much as he needs to get to head height, and then says, "Home," and then sort of pats him on the shoulder.
Hey, gets patted, and by this he is gigantic in comparison, kind of leonine paw, and gives a nod and seems to seek shelter behind Anthus. Shield, like kind of placing himself in a way where Anthus would shield him from the rest of the company.
Shaya's gonna cross her arms and it seems like she thinks for a second. I'm not particularly interested in holding a house, however, it seems like I am going to be here a while, so I might as well chip in. It's probably is cheaper than spending money at an inn. What little I actually have to spend
And
there.
so, hearing you buying into his plan, like his idea, he's kind of like, yes, we can make such a nice place. And even if you want to leave, we can still run it for you while you're away. You can have your own, and sort of starts describing these sort of grand plans that he has for various different parts of the house that he's seen already. He said, have you seen this down here? It could be and then
as he like happily starts talking, Shaya's face goes from thoughtful to just blank. Just like, okay. No, she doesn't mean it in like a mean way or like anything other than a you lost her kind of thing, because interior design was never her strong suit. So it's more like things are just going over her head so much as like boredom, I guess.
So, where'd you make rid of the forest folk so you won't bury them out into the woods?
So those were forest folk.
Yeah, live in the forest, don't they?
Lulu,
To an
why
extent.
would they have attacked us here?
I have rightfully no idea.
Okay. They haven't
They
done
were
it
a
before then.
scavenging party. They looked like they had some bags to steal some stuff, maybe?
And as you had rushed into the kitchen, they were in the process of kind of stashing the bags, their pockets full with whatever they could find. Most of it useless, but you know, a couple of
Okay.
moldy breadcrumbs and whatever.
So, Vargo, now that you've found yourself the head of the situation, could you perhaps lead on? I guess we should just get this over with. I think we have done as much here as we can. I mean, we need to return to Wartorn and get the next quest started. and see what his response is to.
I'm more than happy to
Great.
present our evidence, but I think you should take the lead.
I'm happy to do the talking. That's fine.
I'll carry these
You
fellas.
can
She'll
keep those.
she'll sort of sling a bugbear head over her shoulder and the goblin under her arm and say, "Lead the way."
Still covered in the cloak and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, so
Keep
they're
those away from the guards.
two
Ugh.
members.
Gross. And does anyone else?
Kashi
want
will
to-
follow.
I'll go. I'm interested to see how you guys talk us out of this.
Lulu,
Yeah,
you're such a good cook, my dear. Could we have some lunch for when we get back?
Salt Greek, but sure, we can make something.
I will help with the food.
Just
Sure.
just like a slight retcon, I guess, like things that possibly would be noticed. Like since that whole kitchen situation, Shia hasn't really looked at Anthus, but it doesn't seem like there's too much hostility anymore. So, sorry. Just figured that
That's fine.
So,
I think that's something I'll would take note to.
And before they leave, I'd like to go to Balin and just say, I want to help. I won't stay forever, for I am still seeking answers. But I want to help your cause.
and I imagine he's like I'm 5'5". So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
just
I'm
sort
like
of-
6'8" or something.
I just sort of
ridiculous.
put my hand on your chest. I was going to kind of reach for your shoulder, but I just sort of I don't say anything. I just sort of agree silently, and as I sort of turn, I look into some of the perhaps a look for a mirror, and I'm just trying to sort my and make sure my hood's still up and make myself presentable and dust myself off and start heading out the door.
I've kind of decided to like move my angst and anxiety onto Krath a little bit, so he's been standing there thinking for quite a while, and he's gonna say to Belle and everyone in the room, I guess, that you all seem like good people. I will help as much as I can, despite my circumstances with the war torn.
Vega will say, "Thank you very much," and like reach out a hand, like and forget she's got a goblin's head in it, and sort of switch hands.
To the one that's holding the bugbear head over her shoulders.
No, she'll sort of tuck the goblin head under her arm and offer a hand.
Alright.
Covered in goblin blood.
Yeah, maybe.
He's gonna kind of look confused at you and, I guess, accept the hand?
And when as I'm sort of passing Krath, I just want to whisper to him, I want to talk more about your sword later. And as I leave.
So who's the ones leading the... Bella's leading, but who is the ones following to Euleron's final rest. It's Bell, Vago,
And me. Correct.
everyone except Anthus? Or am I getting that wrong?
I'm staying at the mansion.
Okay.
Kash is going.
Okay. So,
Just gonna sit out in the wild garden for a bit.
I'll back to this. So as you're again making the by now relatively understandable path, knowing what paths leads to what, right, without having to really look for any signs or anything, you know how to get to the closest gate leading out into the common districts. Again, you're stopped by the guards. They do inspect the 2 bundles you have, Vago, but after a little bit of explaining, it's just all right. Pass on through, and you make your way through the common districts. Still covering up the bundles, I assume. So you don't get that many like curious looks. It's more like, okay, what are they carrying?
Hmm.
You know, bit of a passing curiosity than closer inspection or anything like that. And you make your way into the Euleron's final rest.
I think just before we, as we're walking, if it's all right, I just kind of
Yeah,
want to
absolutely.
sidle up past Shire, or next to Shire, and just sort of. Are you okay?
She's gonna glance down at her, and like before looking up to see where she's going, like making it a point to, especially once they get to like the lower quarters, to pay attention where she's stepping. Yes. Why wouldn't I be? Are you okay? You seem to not like the blood too much.
Well, I guess not. No, there was some, difficult conversations, I guess. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay.
She like raises an eyebrow at Belle for a second before giving them a smile, like a wide smile, you know, showing teeth and all that. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. It is just how it is.
I don't know much about Leonin. Sorry?
If you want, you can make a history check.
No.
You can. All right.
I don't know much about kind of Leonin and Leonin society or.
We are a secretive people, it seems, from my years of looking for more history, I guess you should say, of the other people of this world.
Well,
It is not a surprise. You do not know.
Well, should we continue to adventure together, perhaps I can share some stories of people from this land, and you can share me some stories of people from yours. More.
At that, what seemed like a genuine smile at first actually softened and turned genuine. Like it went from a performer's smile to an actual one, where it like less teeth and more you know, it actually reached her eyes. I would like that. Thank you.
And I'll just continue on.
All right.
You just hear the faint music of "Why can't we be friends?"
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. So, after that nice little bonding, that nice.
I'm just gonna go and fill up my juice. Sorry, I've got headphones, so I can still hear.
It's all good. You do finally reach Euleron's final rest, and you know you're greeted by the familiar side of the bar. Steve is still handling it, giving you a little wave as you all enter, giving a very curious look towards Vago with the 2 very big covered up bundles, kind of soggy with blood at this point, kind of seeping through the textile, but he doesn't seem to care all too much. And you make your way into the side room, greeted by the the 2 guards watching as you enter, and Tom Wartorn sitting behind his desk, looking at you expectantly. Oh, that went a lot faster than I thought it would.
Well, we came across a solution to the problem a lot quicker than we expected to. And she'll just like dump the packs on the bundles onto the desk, and be like, "We found your killer," and then she'll remove the fabric.
It takes a moment to look over the bugbear head and the goblin head.
There were plenty of them, but we got rid of the problem.
Lost a few of your party as well.
No, they're staying behind to get rid of the corpses.
And to make sure no one else comes back.
So you're meaning to tell me my son tucked his tail between his legs and ran from a pack of goblins and bugbears?
Well, I'm not entirely sure if that's exactly what he was running from. It seems that his behavior may suggest an ulterior motive, but I don't know.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Come on, nat 20.
Now that you said it.
Oh, that'll do.
I just wanted to see if I had the dark powers.
Yeah.
You're not a warlock, it's fine.
So he unfolds his arms and slams one fist into the table. I believe that concludes our business.
Well,
And he,
kind of.
He fishes out, opens up a drawer that is beneath his legs, fishing out a key and bending down. The guards closely eyeing you as he does, and eventually you hear the clicking sound, the kind of clicking, rotating sound of a safe being opened as well as a key turned. And he brings out.
Put that in your notes, May. There's a safe in this room.
And yeah, Darren, you want a shield, bro? He brings out.
Yeah!
And he brings out 6 pouches of gold and places it onto the table. If you'd like, go ahead and count. There's 300 gold pieces as promised in each of them.
Edwin, fuck. Vega will look at
Edwin.
Yeah, Vega will look at Bell. Yeah, there should be 7 pouches, by the way. Good.
There is 6.
Charades. Oh yeah, because Karaf isn't actually. He's already employed, isn't he? He's already been paid.
He's already being paid in one way or another.
Yeah. So Vega will look at Bell and just with like essentially looking for confirmation that they're going to offer to buy the house.
Mr. Wartorn, your secondary offer of purchasing the manor house.
Still stands.
The ultimate.
Wait, before we continue that conversation, while the gold is being handed out, Krath is looking at the ground, sort of defeated, I suppose.
Do we notice this?
Make a perception check. Would it be insight or would it? I don't know. Yeah, sure. You notice, definitely.
I'm going to make a roll too once my pop-up has loaded. Which doesn't seem to want it. I'm going to have to just refresh my sheet.
Not like really obvious, but just, a little bit.
You can just keep going while my sheet loads. We'll see this later.
Shia's gonna glance over at him and tilt her head.
And with a score of 18, you'd also notice that there is this kind of undertone of a little bit of disgust mixed with a sort of triumphant grin hinting at Tom Wartorn's mouth as he kind of sends a glare in Krath's direction.
She tilts her head and glances between the two of them before leaning just slightly over towards Krath and whispering, "Are you okay? You do not seem all that great. Did you want to step out? I'll accompany you."
He's gonna whisper back, I guess. We can talk about it later.
She nods slightly and straightens up again, but she flicks her tail a little bit as if, and like taps him on the back slightly as if like it's okay kind of thing, but making it just like kind of making it discreet.
After that, he's gonna look up a little bit more. I wouldn't say happy, but less defeated, I guess.
A little bit encouraged.
Yeah, that's the word, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So, are we doing this? Looking towards you, Belle, Tom.
I mean, the deal is a good one, and if I think we would be foolish to not take you up on the offer.
I'd agree.
And I'm all for making statements.
Good. Then you see where I'm coming from. And he takes a little while to count out the 150 gold pieces from each of these kind of hefty purses he has placed up onto the table, counting out from each of them.
And I just sort of go, well, if you just take these two, that's two. That's no, I don't do that. I'm just saying that probably would be easier.
It would have been easier if I
just
had,
give him
if I had the
3 bags back.
yeah. If I had the brain capacity. Let's just say he does that instead. He takes 3 pouches back, divide it amongst yourselves.
I'll just take the entire thing for
If
now.
you ever, yeah, I'll look towards Tom and be like, if you ever need any other work doing, I think we've got ourselves a merry band of adventurers.
I'll keep that in mind.
And then
Are you all turning to leave at this point, or?
Question for DM quickly: would Krath expect to need to stay, or is he free? Okay, so he's free to follow them again. Okay.
Yeah. You're a booty call. He calls to you when needed.
Okay.
That's one way to put it.
Get the orc ass over here.
Wolfie is our
So I'll pocket.
daily.
So I'm waiting expectantly for like the deeds to the house to prove that we've actually like bought it. So we've given the money. He's going. The house is now ours. Is that correct, Mr. Wharton?
Yes. You're expected to defend it, to hold it in your own names. The deed should be in the house, I believe. If it isn't,
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, didn't you find that last time?
Yeah,
The
I did.
first issue?
Yeah, that's fine. I was just making sure that there wasn't anything else that we needed.
Name on it though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
there was no name
It
on it.
was blank.
It was pre-signed by the son, Charles Ward,
Yeah.
but there was no actual buyer signature
Yet.
yet.
And I'll sort of extend my hand out to his, just sort of staring him directly in the eyes,
And
like you would kind of a predatory animal.
You're looking predatory?
He's a powerful figure. Like a
Oh, yeah.
bear, you stand up to a bear, you
Oh, I see. I
You-
see.
are
I
kind of
misunderstood. My mistake.
not so much intimidating, but showing that I'm trying to pass off as not being. I might be all brains, but
No.
You know.
Hello, my name is Bell, and I am very much not absolutely terrified of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, I misunderstood it the other way around, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
I did
I shoot
too.
him in the.
Yeah. And as he kind of shakes your hand and makes a hand motion, and the guards are starting to kind of shuffle all of you out except Bell.
Mm,
Are you resisting?
mm,
No.
no.
Oop, I won't be a moment. I'll
Krath is also being escorted out.
help
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
Grab yourself a drink. I'll be right there.
And as the
Yeah.
door closes, the guards closes the door to the rest of you to do whatever you wish, order a drink or
Are the
anything from
guard
the bar.
the guards inside the room and shut the door in our face?
They're shoving all of you out, everyone except Bell and the
Yeah.
two guards themselves. So there's 4 individuals in total in the room left.
Yeah, so the
There-
guards, are they outside the room with us, or are they inside the room shutting the door on us?
No, they walk out, shutting the door behind them and kind of standing guard, making sure that no one's coming in.
Okay, I'm just going to stand in the
Kashi
hallway
will sort
and
of
wait for
be
them.
on.
Yeah, so you'd be standing in the actual tavern itself. It's just a side room. It does offer some sort of privacy, but it's not, it's not necessarily the most secure location. But
I just want to stay near and see if I can hear any. Well, I might overhear some conversation, but essentially I want to make sure that Bell doesn't get attacked.
all right.
Kashi will do the same, so just stand as close is to the door as the guards allow him.
All right, yeah, that
Uh,
would be, at an arm's length, 5 feet from where they're standing, so 10 feet
Yeah, so
range
I
from
would
the door.
suppose say like 7-ish feet away, just a little bit extra.
Shaya's gonna tap Krath on the shoulder and tilt her head towards the stairs or wherever it was. Like we're upstairs, right?
Yeah, no, you are on the bottom floor, but there are stairs leading up to the
Oh, okay.
the rooms for rent where some of you have been staying.
No. So she was just gonna tilt her head towards the main portion of the tavern.
I can
I'll
actually give
buy
you
you
a
a.
picture. It's not updated with any of the tokens or anything like that, but if you just want to see the layout.
I like how
So the-
mine's there.
Yeah, the tokens are entirely irrelevant, but this would be the
Oh,
general
okay.
layout of the tavern.
That one looks familiar.
look,
I've
it's
used
great.
that as a
And
villain.
then,
Gotcha.
Can Krath be moved out so you can at least see the room? I know the tokens don't matter.
oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I'm locked in as well.
There you go.
Yeah, she's gonna tap Krath on the shoulder and tilt her head towards the main portion of the tavern. I'll buy you a drink if you share a story.
Before all of that, though, Tom kind of squeezes your hand tightly, not to the point of hurt, but it's a very firm handshake, and he pulls you in over the table. And this all transpires in a matter of seconds, but he leans in and says, "Don't trust Krath. Bad business, that one." And he lets go of your hand and motions for you to get out of his sight.
Oh shit.
Nice shot.
Mm.
Naughty Krath. Naughty.
Do we overhear any of this?
Anything else you
Make a
care to
perception check.
share other than the?
No.
No, you don't hear anything.
I sort of before leaving, I think Belle would look at him and go, You've given us warning, but you've not given us reason why. If we should be wary, what's he done?
I'm afraid I can't exactly disclose all of the details surrounding his position. If you want to know, ask him.
And I'm gonna sort of try and lean on his nature as someone that is of power, and surely a man of your position doesn't find, wouldn't want someone like Krath getting the upper hand. And I'm gonna kind of almost try and persuade him to just give me a little bit more.
All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That's an
That
18.
works. And he lowers his hand from having waved you off, and rests his hand into his kind of scruffy, well kept but still kind of scruffy beard. Him and his friend caused us some troubles past. Is looking out for the new landowners of Mountainside Manor. If you wish to keep it intact, your life's safe, keep an eye on it.
And sort of benevolently, I just sort of take that and I appreciate your
Candor.
benevolence is the wrong word, but
Yeah.
as I tend to kind of
Yeah. You're able to kind of pick from him that he is very much a person of authority, and he knows it, and he does his best to keep whatever cards and plans he has close to his chest, but it doesn't come off as untruthful in the way he delivers it to you. Yeah, Mountainside Manor.
Sexy.
and just one final thing.
Like an
Yeah.
episode
Do you
of Columbo.
Do you have any connection to someone versed in magic?
Well, there's Sanj Fourth Seal.
Sanj Fourth Seal?
Yeah, I'll put it in chat.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, how the hell do you spell that?
I got it pretty much right, apart from I spelled it with an S. And where might I find them?
At the Fourth Seal Estate. Noble quarters, of course.
Thank you for your time. As I open the door and close it behind me and visibly just go.
Yeah. The two guards kind of give you an encouraging pat on the back, as in get a move on, but they
and I'll
it's a bit of a sympathetic pat on the back.
and I'll rejoin the people at the.
The guards return
bar.
back into the room as well as you make your way to the bar.
While they're doing that, can we skip to the manor real quick? I just have one thing
Yeah.
I would like to do. Sat out in the garden for a few minutes, and then I'm going to head in and I'm going to find where Anthus is.
What time of day is it?
It would be close to the one has keen mind, but it's definitely past.
Pre-lunchtime.
Yeah, it is definitely past. I don't know how to describe time. It's getting darker.
So I will go out. I'll be outside watching the sun setting, man.
All right.
As my ritual. I will ritual cast Sunset Watch.
There's even a little campsite out here. I'll drag you over.
Perfect.
Drag Finn as well.
I'm just sitting there. If you'd like to drag the other characters there, we could have like a spectators thing.
Forget who's still in the manor.
And just sort of sit there for a moment. Just knowing his ritual, wait for before the actual sunset itself, so I'm not disturbing him. See.
Oh, I'm just watching. If you don't say anything, he won't for the entire sunset. So
Yeah. No, he's trying to not do it during the sunset because he understands the importance to you.
I understand.
But when there's a moment, he goes, "How do you do it?"
What? How do I do what?
I've been away from my village for a month and I miss it dearly. And from what Shaya was saying, it seems you've been away from your home even longer.
I have been away from my home for... Looks at backstory. I think we agreed at least 10
5
years.
years?
I think it was like 10 years in total or something ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was it?
something like that.
It's between
the
5 and
ballpark.
10 years, yeah.
I have
The
5
ballpark
years
of-
written.
There we go.
but-
We'll say 5 years then. So I have been away from my home for 5 years.
And when Anthus says that, there's a little bit of sadness to Finn's face, and he goes, "And you can never go home again?"
No.
Like a little bit of pause, and you kind of think maybe he's not going to say anything, and he says, "They never quite understand why we do the things that we do they? It's hard to explain."
No, but everyone has a right to think and act as they do. That's
They
Seeing
might
as
have
it
done the
would
same. They just didn't understand.
Noga?
Seeing as it would have been past sunset at this point, the others would have, unless you wanted to do some sort of form of time skipping and spend time in the bar, or stay in the bar for a extended period of time until the sun sets.
I still
if
wanted
you-
craft story.
Yeah. So if you're all hanging out in the bar, that's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking to do this while they were sort of all away, so
Yeah.
shortly after they'd gone.
Sneaky
Okay.
private chat. When I was younger, someone I held dear to me always told me that I saw people for more than what they were, to a fault. I think people do bad things because they think they're doing good for something they care about. I think that is often what is forgotten when it comes to, fighting. And me going and never coming back from home is just a extension of that. It is nothing more. I don't belong there. There is no home for me to go back to. There is no family for me to go back to. My home is... well, I don't have one. And that's okay. It's just who I am.
I'm sorry if this seems a personal question. I don't really know much about your race. In fact, I've never really heard of them until I saw you in the forest that day. How old are you?
I think I must be. Hold on. Counting. I would.
If I remember correctly, they have like relatively long lives.
I am 46, I think. I could be 45 or 47. Lost track when I was walking.
How long do your people live?
Quite a long time, I hear. I think like up to 80 years, I think. Is that right, Wolfie? Wolfinator?
It depends on where you're getting your sources from, but I think the one that Nogo linked us, it says they have
Same age as human age, yeah.
yeah, human length.
Same age as any human you've met on your roads.
So I guess not that long. They don't have a terribly long life. So
About 80. About 80, yeah.
they're about, yeah.
Yeah.
That means midlife crisis.
Well, it's already. I've passed the crisis, my dude. I'm in post-crisis. Have you met Anthus? Anthus says, "Whatever you do, make sure that those you care about know it, my friend. I think that is a great regret that you never want to have."
I can't go home either.
Why? What did you do?
I helped a friend.
Is this to do with your magic-y things?
Mm, mm, My people were protectors as well. And I helped a friend. And now I can't go home. And my people live a lot longer than yours. And he gets up and just sort of slowly walks back into the building.
I don't move. I'm just gonna bask in the moonlight as it begins to rise.
Seth.
Cool
Basking
transition.
in the moonlight, everybody feeling warm and bright. Alright, I did make sure the scene was over before I did that.
Cool transition of
Cam-
zooming out of the
pans out, yeah.
GTA 5 style, like
Oh, yeah.
zooming out of the mountainside manor and just woof, 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 moving over to the Euleron's Final Rest Tavern where we find
There
the
was
rest of the
something else.
party.
Damn it, he's walked away.
What's going on in the tavern, guys?
So Shia said she'd buy Krath a drink if he tells her why, like what's going on with him. Like I think her words were, "I'll buy you a drink if you tell me a story."
Krath kind of looks both ways and almost whispers, but like trying to make sure that nobody can hear it, but still, not entirely whispering. I would like to
over the kind of tumultuous, seeing as it's late night now, the tavern is very much alive. There is a lot of noise going on. So as long as you're all sitting at the same table, or kind of lean in, very much a realistic thing there, where you kind of have to lean in over the table to even hear the other guys say anything. That is,
the
where you
atmosphere.
were at.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he says, I would very much like to speak about this matter as far away from the war torn as I can.
She smiles and nods and gives a shrug. I didn't say what kind of story, but I understand.
I mean, I figured that you wanted to know about the whole war
She
torn.
did. She
Yeah.
did, but she was
Okay.
giving you an out. She
Uh,
did. I did, but it was
Well,
more like an out kind of thing.
he didn't take the out. He wants to tell you. He just doesn't want to tell you in the bar.
Yeah, fair enough. She's with that she simply shrugs and I respect that. Everybody has their stories. Some are more intimate than others, I guess. I do believe our scholar friend is done with the war torn. So shall we go back?
Yeah, it would have, I guess, taken a minute or so for Bell to finish his business with Tom inside privately, so
Yeah.
he is rejoined with the rest of you.
And I assume like that conversation between the two of them would have probably happened while she was in there, so
Is,
Vega. Oh, sorry.
No, you've not talked in a while. You go.
I was just going to, do some typical Vega and just
Oh,
look
what
at
have I done?
look at the guys at the table and say,
oh god.
what is always coming but never arrives?
Dowid.
You. Answers.
Oh, I know this one.
Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
It is exactly what I was thinking. Let's go home. And she'll just get up and start walking towards the door.
You guys are good at riddles. I didn't get that at all.
Same.
It's an older one.
I understood it once the answer got said.
I was gonna say time, but
I mean,
kind of.
time comes, passes, goes.
Yeah.
It's here, but it's not.
Mr. DM,
Yeah.
Yeah,
who was behind the bar?
Steve Bumblebuck.
Oh, it's Bumblebuck, isn't it?
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
it's
I
not
remember.
Steve.
No, it's Steve
yes,
Bumble censored word.
It's Steven.
So I'm gonna sidle over just pre them getting up and leaving.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to sidle over to Steve and sort of say, I think I may be done with your room.
All right. Well, you didn't
Well-
stay very long.
No, I remember I was kind of looking for something. I think I may have found the next step.
Because I finally found
The
looking for.
I don't know. I mean, I've just bought a house.
A house here in the city?
Yeah. Funny story. I've just bought Mountainside Manor.
Really?
Yeah. Me and a group of friends. Well, I guess they're. I mean, some of them are. I mean, one of them is a group of people.
All right. I mean, I'm happy you've made a group of people your acquaintances. Here in the city,
Now.
it can be hard to find. It can be hard to find people you can trust here. Well,
I mean,
sure, Samson would be happy to know that you're safe after arrival, and I didn't even have to put too much.
I've
of a deficit
been
on
here
your name.
a few weeks. I mean, I don't want you to be too out of pocket, I guess. But so just I didn't really leave the tavern an awful lot. Can you just sort of
I was
give me
surprised you
the?
weren't here for breakfast.
I know. I did miss it. We ended up having. Anyway, so if I'm gonna get things like supplies for the house, is there an IKEA round here? Is there like a
Some meatballs.
I hear they got the best
the way
meatballs.
that I'm talking to him, I'm just kind of like, can you give me rough idea as to where shops and things are? I mean, I know the noble district and this like, look at me.
Yeah, most of the craftsmen operate out of the common
Yeah.
district. What are you in the business of purchasing? Is it furniture? Is it
Furniture? But I feel we got attacked today. I saw a bugbear with his eyes, and he fell and oh.
well,
Anyway, goblins too, in the house. It's a mess. But
yeah, it sounds dangerous.
weapons, armor, I anything. Here, in fact, I have a map. Can you circle where the interesting things are, please?
Absolutely, and he circles a few locations on the map.
And I
Doesn't mark them, just circles.
Yeah.
And I sort of put my hand into my pocket, and I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just sort of stack it like poker chips, and I'm like, thank you. And
This is
I pass over.
There was 5 gold pieces, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is more than you used living here. Who
I
the
know.
fuck is fucking let one rip?
That's going to be a waveform in the editing, by the way, and I am going to take a picture of that waveform and send it to the chat, because that was beautiful.
Who was it?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Who was that?
Somebody is fucking farted
I've got no idea.
very loudly.
That was so good.
My headset must have cut out because I didn't hear anything.
Maybe it was
All I
me that
heard
did
was
it.
people laughing, and
No, if it was me, I would have said so. I own my farts.
Somebody
Yeah.
weaponized gas, and it was so good.
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, we certainly did.
Of course he was the bard wannabe.
Oh,
Alright, I'm sorry.
We are all
oh,
I was
it's
trying
so
to keep it
good.
in, but
Yeah.
you said something, and I'm just like dead.
Wait, who was it?
I don't know.
Vego.
I don't
It was
know.
Vego.
It was Vego.
Why am I getting blamed? That's
Alright.
so
Well,
good.
Steve accepts the 5 gold coins, and this is more than what you'd owe for your stay. You
And
didn't
I-
stay for weeks. Have you hit your? Did the bugbear hit your head? You.
I did.
arrived-
I was staying for a little while before I met these lot. It wasn't the night before that I turned up.
No, it was 2 or 3 days at most.
Okay, that's fine. But I think the gold, knowing my father's connection to you in this establishment, I think you could probably put it to some use. Help
Hey,
someone
no.
out.
I'll do that. You're a good boy, Bell.
Boy. Bad boy.
And with that, I'll sort of go right. Oh. Also, looking at Vargo, get rid of the fucking heads.
They're on
I
the
left them on
they're
the
actually on the floor
Right.
inside of the
You left them there, did you? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, you see, I actually forgot about that, but you would have seen, like, kind of mid-conversation, 2 very disgruntled and not very happy guards just carrying the heads out into the streets.
I am hungry. Let's go home,
Yeah.
shall we?
Maybe pick up some groceries on the way. I don't think we'd have so much there. Don't mind
That's-
me and my accents.
That's a fantastic idea. And I pull out the map and I'm like, right.
Would I basically know where to go at this point, Nogo?
What?
Would I basically know where to go to get, like, groceries? Like, I've been here long enough?
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
just point out a space around the corner, basically.
Yeah, she's gonna like glance at the map and be like, "That's where the most fresh is. It's not exactly the best, but we're not in a no
Come
corner."
on! We're celebrating. We've just bought a house. Let's. And I'm sort of. And I'll go and spend like a gold, I guess, like
Yeah.
buying loads of groceries for Lulu and Grick to whatever, and for Anthus and Finn back at home. And I'm like, what do? I sort of cut to China. I'm like, what do Leonin eat?
She, what?
The Vargo question.
Do
We eat like normal people.
okay. I didn't want to assume. So I just continue with what I what I was doing.
She kind of like glances around, confused, and I'm just gonna say, I'm assuming that's what they eat.
And then I'm gonna get lots of like non-meat related products as well, because I suspect that some of them are probably not gonna eat meat.
Yeah. For the better, like for gold, you get just about the best that the store has in terms of like as soon as you kind of flash the golden, it's like, you know, they kind of dig deep into their stores and bring forth much fresher produce than you otherwise would have gotten.
And I look at everyone else and I'm like, this is really heavy.
Can I just
Things so
pick-
happy in
I'll
the future.
I'll just pick up some of this stuff.
Thanks. And Krath, are you staying for dinner?
I assume he is going to live with us.
Technically, he didn't get paid. Therefore, it's not his house.
Shia frowns at that and like looks at Krath and then like looks at Belle and like, huh.
I didn't say that in character. I literally just said, "Are you staying for dinner?"
And what I said was in
Yeah.
character. So
If you would have me, he says with like a weird,
I mean, don't you were a part of this? Isn't it like a portion of yours at this point?
So I think-
Isn't that how this stuff works?
We've started walking back. I think at this point, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think. I assumed you lived. Yes, of course. Sorry. How like socially backwards. of me.
Awkward.
Let's yes,
Inept.
and I'll just pace on in front, having made a bit of a social faux pas, and can continue walking.
To be fair, at your words, Shia does give a quizzical look at Krath. That is true. You are from here, aren't you? I did not mean to assume.
question for DM because I don't remember my backstory. I don't really have a home, do I? Except for the shelter.
Nope.
Which you wouldn't really count as a home.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Not since a long time.
That's true. So he's just gonna say, I don't really have a place to stay. I just
well,
live
then
in-
it is decided. She's gonna say, not even caring that she pretty much cut him off. Sorry, and like continue to walk forward as if like the matter is done and over with in her mind.
And he's just gonna like give a weird puzzled look and then smile, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
To be
Kashi, assume
just-
Kashi is still like around. He notices everything, but he doesn't speak up about it. Not like yay, we're staying, and not like no, he's not. Just like neutral to the situation.
Edgelord.
yeah.
There's gotta be one now that I'm not a player.
For
I'm glad you've shouldered the mantle, Ace.
for David, just so you are aware, I didn't mean to like be mean and cut you off. That's just how
No, I
she
know.
would
I know.
be.
I realized.
So I apologize in
No,
advance.
no. I immediately realized that it was her. Just being in character.
Cool.
Alright. So you make your way.
That's also where the puzzle came from. Kind of.
So you make your way back to the Mountainside Manor. Go through the hoops with the guards, and you arrive back home past sunset with
I am
Finn
surprised.
alone in the house.
So
I'm just
I'll
gonna
take
go
Well,
to the
not
kitchen.
alone. I
everything,
guess there would
put it in
be
the storeroom.
Yeah, just go and put stuff in the. Probably just follow her to put stuff away.
Lulu, Grick, we have supplies.
And they actually, it takes a moment, but you do hear eventually. You hear a little bit of shuffling and everything coming from the pantry, and they kind of emerge from their basement, as it were, and they all kind of emerge into the common room where I assume you all are, except for
Hearing the commotion, I'll come back as to be involved in the squad.
yeah. Alright.
Would we
We are
have
now-
technically had a short rest in the time that they were away?
Yeah, absolutely. You've not been doing anything strainfully, I'm gonna be very lenient with short rest. That in times of travel, walking,
Yeah.
non-strenuous actions, feel free to just ask if a short rest is okay. It's gonna be
gain my
okay
spell
many
slot,
many
then.
times.
That's pretty good for 2 warlocks. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
To have now that we own the property,
Mhm.
do we need to have it still blacked out so we can just keep seeing everything
No, there's
globally illuminated?
yeah. I gotta
Anyway,
let me
just-
know if this works.
probably work when we refresh. Maybe
Might need to take us
Maybe.
off the page and then bring us back, maybe.
it's fine. It's something to look at for next time. But as I sort of we, turning to everybody, are now the proud owners of this fine establishment. As I sort of realize as I turn around that it's still
But
a bit of a
there's
shithole.
there's blood splatter everywhere in the kitchen, and whatever
I'm thinking with the shithole.
Rick and
Quick,
Anthus and
Rick,
everyone's been able to put together is, it's passable, but not to the higher quality that you experienced this morning.
Grick, Lulu, as our permanent guests, you are. I think I speak for everybody and say that you're kind of welcome to stay as long as you need. No more tricks against us, however.
No, of course
sort of
not.
say jokingly. And as I kind of go into my bag and I put the money on the bar, and I'm just like, and we have this to share between us all.
Wow.
It's a good start. Not bad for a day's work.
How much does every player get?
Each player gets 150 gold,
Okay.
except Krath.
Except for me.
I look to Kashi for helping me count out the amount.
Kashi just takes one bag, counts out his amount, and just hands the rest of the bag over to Finn.
Gamer, I'm going to give you 120 gold. And just say, I like you. You've got a good idea. And then I'm going to keep 30.
Wow.
So if you cut, just as a side note, sorry, if you want to cut Krath in, it would be 128 gold, 5 silver, and 7 copper. Let's say that is the closest that I can translate it to. 900 divided by 7. So if all of you would have removed that,
What
essentially.
would he have been paid for his current job, though? Would he have been paid to do it?
He got paid in something else.
You don't know.
All right. So
Before
in the,
giving gold, then,
presentation
1 second. Yeah, carry on.
So in the kind of celebration of this, counting out the money and showing all of the things that you've bought with the money, Bell, as well as gathering everyone in this common room, Lulu kind of tugs at the earlobe of Grick and is like, "Now! Do it now!" And Grick kind of digs into his pockets and brings out...
We die.
A rapier and begins to stab us really quickly.
Yeah, brings out a Tarrasque in a jar and breaks it.
That is my item. Grick needs to roll a d20 strength check to see if he can break it, and then he needs to roll to beat his intelligence to see if he can control it. It's my item anyway.
Yeah.
Say that there was an out at the third episode session, so.
And do you not remember when Darin's family had issues with him being loud, and we were all wondering why?
Yeah.
It's okay. They're not working this week. It's half term. They don't.
And it was only the creepy uncle, right?
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, he's gone
Sorry.
now.
Yeah, didn't mean to derail.
It's fine. He brings out a pouch, like more of a leather bag, really, and starts digging through it, and brings out a crimson rose, and places it onto the table. It looks not of this world. It seems extremely unnatural in its pristine condition, as well as being just, very beautiful to look at. It is definitely not an ordinary rose, as well as a small ball, and the rose would have been it's a magically preserved rose. The ball is not magical. A rock that is not magical, as well as what was it?
I was just saying, go on with your description. I'll deal with that later.
And a book.
Is it magical?
It's not magical. And Lulu kind of just, as he's doing this. So, remember when you asked us if there was any items of importance in the house? Well, we kind of lied, because didn't really know if we could trust you or not. But this is Grick's favorite rock, and it's just a rock. There is my rose and Spyro's ball, as well as this book we found. Grick had it with him when we found him, so it's yours. That is all we can offer, really. And she kind of scratches her back, scratches the back of her neck. It's not a gold exactly, but it's the most precious items we have, other than the house, which you now own.
I feel that kind of seeing his kind of childlike emptying his pockets of all the stuff that he's found around, he's just he picks up this rock and he looks down at Greg and goes, This is a good rock. You should look after this rock.
Brightens up like, I'm getting my rock back.
And I
sort of
scuff his head, and I'm like, this is a ball, and I sort of and so is this your ball?
As you pick it up and kind of take a grasp of it, it lets out a slight squeak, and Spyro instantly at attention.
I'm gonna have so much fun with this as I just sort of pick out, sort of throw it across the room.
Yeah. Spyro, boom, after the ball.
We've got a dog,
It's like
guys.
a
We've got a
dog.
dog. We've got This is a win. Right, cool. This is the best.
Dog.
Sorry, gamer. This is the best one. This is the best campaign. Sorry, you didn't give us a
No,
dog.
fine.
You didn't give us a
I
dog.
did.
game.
You just killed them.
No, you didn't. You didn't give us a real dog.
You guys could have killed these people too.
Technically,
Um,
he's also not a real dog. He's a dragon, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Technically, we could also still kill him.
It's not actually a dragon. He's a pseudo dragon.
Yeah.
It's still
so-
still got dragon in the name. It's
Lulu,
fine.
what's the flower?
It's from my homeland. It's not really a homeland, really. It's more of a. It's a different place.
Are you able
Yeah.
to go to that place of will?
No, not anymore. Used to,
Why?
not anymore.
What
I kinda-
happened?
Got lost. And I just kept going in one direction, and I found Spyro. We quickly became friends.
I see
then-
that. But were you not able to turn around and go back the opposite way of which you came?
No, see, that's where the whole got lost part comes in. didn't find my home again. Spyro continues chasing the ball. It's very much a big play of fetch.
You should hold on to that. I feel like that is much more useful in your hands than ours. However, I think one of our magical friends should at least give it a look over. They might be able to find where it came from.
Sure, maybe.
I forget that Duke is a thing. I'm sorry.
Me too.
And
Mention
Grick
of
is still
that.
You haven't seen him in a while.
with his rock in his hand.
You've eaten him.
Very protectively holding the rock to his
didn't know
chest,
it.
like looking at all of you just talking.
At mention of that, I am going to use my Eldritch Sight and do Detect Magic
Yeah.
at that point.
Well, didn't
So
you
I
say
don't-
that none of it was magic?
No, the rose is very much magical, but it's I don't know what's I guess transmutation would be the school of magic because of like altering it to be a something else, but its origin point and anything similar you can't really reach at all. Just that this is not a rose of this world.
Is there anything that my teacher might have told me about in any of our lessons?
Yeah, probably actually. It would have been
Arcana check.
yeah. Go ahead.
See how much I remember. 14.
Yeah. So flowers from the Feywild are generally used in crafting of very potent potions as well as just as kept as decoration. But it is, as far as you can really tell, other than having that little bit of a flashback of, oh yeah, this could definitely be a flower from the Feywild. Beyond that, you don't really remember much else other than its uses.
That with what Lulu said about having seen similar sort of elves in the Feywild. See, Lulu, would you mind if I took a look at that rose for a while? I'll give it back to you. It's just
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Look at it. It's
Thank you.
pretty.
yes.
And-
Take it.
The book. Is this yours? Was this here already?
Grick kind of just shakes his head.
Oh, it's your book.
Nods.
You did say. Do you mind if I take a look?
No, you don't even finish the sentence. He's just no. He does not want anything to do with that book.
So I'll pick it up and just sort of thumb the pages and put it in my pocket for some late night reading.
Yeah. So just from that, you don't really read it, but the title
Yeah.
of it is the bandit who forged an empire.
Dun, 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 dun.
Still throwing the ball.
Yep.
All right.
Jaunty music goes with the
Yeah.
throwing of the ball.
So I guess everyone should make themselves at home. I mean, we can eat, drink, and be merry today. There are some good beds. I mean, I've already called my room. Yeah, they say jovially because that's where I was when the fighting started.
Yeah.
But I think this could be the start of something.
I am still not happy to be traveling with the albino one, but
Who's
you
standing
are
right
all
next to
else
you?
growing on me. Is he? I don't see him.
Oh yeah, he
I-
is in the room,
I'm
but
in
he
the room.
didn't move his
I am
token.
definitely in my corner.
Yeah.
In my that is Anthus's corner.
There you go.
Anthus, did you want to go and look at that place tomorrow?
If we have nothing else to do.
What did you say they changed the sign to?
I think they scratched it out. I don't know why I've gone Welsh, but they have.
Welsh, says the Welsh person.
I believe they have scratched out the icons heading towards that church. I was told that they had destroyed it in some way or other.
I seem to recall
Say
it
that
being changed from a temple to ruin.
Yeah.
And at that, I sort of give a glance over to Brick. Like, wasn't that what you said? Something about ruin?
He gives a shrug of his shoulder, but then raises his hand and points out towards the north, past the raised gate and the forest that goes beyond from where the supposed.
Is the temple in the forest?
No.
No.
And now who's this?
You probably gathered
Who the
that.
fuck's just walked in?
I'm sorry, we're closed.
Well, I would suppose that I don't necessarily need to keep up the disguise for now. Now that I'm amongst friends.
And yeah. And I look, I'm going, fuck me, Jax?
It's been a while, Bill. It's been a while.
No fucking shit. It's just sort of jumped down off the bar that I've apparently been stood on talking to people. And I'm kind of outstretch my arm. Why are you here?
I've been here the whole time. And then it'll sort of like not avoid your handshake, but sort of pull you in for a hug rather than a handshake.
And I so the riddles, the person you were before, a disguise?
Potentially. I've come accustomed to the strange ways of old Vago.
Today is a day of surprises and secret spilling, apparently.
Well, if you prefer, and then just sort of shudder a little bit, and then his face starts to sort of melt and transform sort of into
He's
Tom Wartorn.
Changeling!
Into Tom Wartorn's face, and he's like, if you prefer, I could... I don't know what voice he's got.
I can't really do voices, so whatever
No.
you can produce, probably as good as mine.
Okay. If you prefer, I could live amongst you as nobility. And he'll just sort of change his face back as he walks around. And yeah.
Shaya's nose wrinkles. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it doesn't look very nice to behold.
Yeah, I kind of see it as a mix between, where the Agent 47, is it? Whatever he's called, the guy from the Matrix. When his face starts going all like mad.
Would you mind enlarging the picture so I can copy it into my book of many things?
That's just the
Nice.
Thank you.
So,
So you're Tom Wartorn. You gave us this job. But we saw you in the same room, didn't we?
I'm not quite sure you
Didn't we?
understand the nature of my.
I don't know who this other one is.
Finn. Look, Jax, sit. Let's eat. We have all the time in the world to get to know each other. Finn, this. You remember Vargo and her apples? This is they.
You mean like this? And he snaps his fingers, and I'll use Furbolg magic to cast disguise self
Yeah.
to look like a elven gentleman, same sort of hair, but red hair, red skin, long eyes, long eyebrows, like
And,
this, and like 2 foot shorter, because my Furbolg magic can let me do that.
Jax will put his arm round Finn's shoulder and be like, "Exactly like that, my friend."
Just on midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you settle in for the night, the food's being prepared for a night supper.
I make a wholesome family meal. Family deal?
Right.
Family meal.
Yeah.
Family Feud.
With a very kind of surprisingly demanding orders of Lulu, as she seems to have a very specific way of cooking her food, and most of it seems to be alright, but she has some really quirky ideas, like putting mustard on the pancakes. And you continue your night, and as night falls, holy shit, as the night creeps in, and you all eventually, after having discussed your plans of perhaps visiting the ruins of peace that Anthus had previously spotted out, walking through Uleron City, and find yourself in beds. I suppose that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Yeah.
Before that, I would like to specify that Krath sleeps outside
In the
of the
nude.
house.
In the nude.
Huh, crap, you're sleeping with Anthus then, because Anthus is also sleeping outside. But
Finn takes a bedroom, but
I'm in
doesn't
my
sleep in the
bedroom.
bed because it's too small.
I'd actually like to sleep by the lake, because I thought that was really fucking beautiful. I really like the lakeside. That's cool.
Very good session, Nogo. You did really well.
And yes, you do level up here. You all
Ooh, juicy one.
Hey.
through the
Juicy one.
combo.
All that social interaction really leveled it up.